Welcome back, everybody. Once again, you have reached Pay Dirt. I am your host, B Dirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. What's good, Pay?
What's up, my boy? We missed the week, man. How'd you enjoy your anniversary of life?
Well, we had a bye week last week. We didn't plan on it. That's the reason why it wasn't announced. So apologies to everyone out there. But the hurricane ran Pay out of town a little early, out of Florida. So we had to bump it back. We were going to move it from Wednesday to Thursday. And then I got surprised with a little birthday dinner on Thursday, celebrating my 48th trip around. So, yeah, it was great, man. It's a good weekend all in all. I did miss the homies on Friday. I didn't even get on talking trash. We kind of did our own thing, had a nice little dinner, laid low. Had a margarita at my buddy's restaurant. It was nice. Cheers. Yeah, it was a good time, good weekend, and doing a couple of shows today, and then hopping on a jet in the morning and flying to Seattle. So
nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to them Lions.
Yeah, we're going to see Tim while we're out there, and Rudolph Big Blue are a home dog to the Washington Huskies. Away dog, I guess. My bad. But they take on Washington Huskies and getting 2.5 points as a number 10 ranked team in the country. Thought that was interesting. So,
you want to start there?
Without further ado, I'm staying away from that, man. I don't trust that team. I hit on the over last week. I will say 2 weeks ago on our pick six, we were 3-3, a little kissing of the sister. Brings us to 10-8. 10-8 for the season. Hanging in there, getting through some of these rough weeks.
10-8 on the season. That is better than a lot of gambling shows right now. This has been a tough week across the industry. So anybody talking lines, talking bets, football has been taking a bath. And us too, on our picks to click, our final parlay, we're still over 500 on our picks. Maybe the parlays aren't hitting, but our picks they're still coming home. So, I mean, I don't want to toot our own horn. B, you can do it for yourself, but
I had a really good week last week too. So I think I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get to share that. I went 8-2 for the week, including hit a parlay on Saturday night with Bama coming through for me. I was probably the happiest guy in the bar when that 2-point conversion didn't get made by Georgia there late. So having Bama +2 and they went and Georgia to that 1-point lead, I felt like I was pretty safe. I was pretty good. But things were good. I want to give a shout out over here to the live chat. We got Afton, the captain, over there. We got Tim Lyons in the building. We appreciate you guys rocking with us as always. Hit that like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Come get your picks every week after the bye week.
Agreed. All right, man. So you started it off. Michigan at Washington, one of the new Big Ten squads. They played for the championship last season, right? Washington?
They did. This is a little bit of a rematch, you could say.
Yeah, you definitely can say that. And Washington is now the fave. You are staying away. And I want to quote you. You said you don't trust this team. Who is the this in that phrase?
That would be the Michigan Wolverines. I'll trust this team.
All right.
They had a pretty easy win in the bag last week, and I watched them try to give it away late. I don't know, man. They've just decided they're not going to pass the ball. They're just going to run the ball. That's going to be
Isn't that the Michigan way?
It's not. It was always to be able to hit somebody down the field for a 14-yard gain. I mean, if you go back and look, they talked about J.J. McCarthy last year not proving anything. when you looked at 3rd and long, he was the best quarterback in the country. So when he had to pass, he could. We don't have that anymore in Ann Arbor. So I'm just going to avoid this game. It's just not worth it to me. And I'll be there in Seattle, Washington, rooting for it. So I'm not going to fly across the country to take 2 L's. If we lose, I'll take 1.
I agree. This team is Jekyll and Hyde. They got the doors blown off of them from Texas, but then they turn around and beat USC. You don't know what kind of team this is just yet. But you did say they will run the ball until their head hurts. So with that being said, you don't have anything on this game, not even rushing props?
No, because I don't know. What's Mullings? That would be the one I think would be fairly consistent. Khalil Mullings. What are you're getting up at 130 for even money?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm saying?
But even money, you got to go over 100 yards. That's what I'm talking about right there. So if you wanted to like stack your parlay, this wouldn't even be worth it in my opinion. 100 yards, that's nasty work.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. I don't think there's any value in this. I think that all of these other ones, minus what's this 20,000 for 40 yards? That's crazy. I think these are all safe bets. That's why the numbers look that way.
But they're boring.
But they're not necessarily. They're not just boring. There's no value. We can find something else that's a little more juicier. So I'm with you. Let's come on out of this game. Let's go talk about something else.
Tim's over here pointing out I got a college team that can't pass and a pro team that won't run. He's right. I digress. There are some college stuff I like, man. There's some college stuff I like. I would listen if you gun to my head and you said you got to take something out of that game. The Michigan, I would take over 41.5. I think they've proven that they're going to have enough splash plays. I hit the Michigan over again last week. I just feel like it's probably going to go over. Right now, they're calling for pretty good weather out there, but man, I'm impressed by this freshman in Pitt playing quarterback, running the ball well, throws the ball fairly well. They've been able to score some points. Great game against West Virginia. Undefeated right now. They're going in to North Carolina and playing your Tar Heels. And that's only a 2.5 point spread. I think Pittsburgh wins that game by more than a field goal. North Carolina looks like they have some serious issues with that program right now. That's my first go-to on there is Pitt Pitt minus 2.5.
You're reading my notebook, G. I'm sorry, B. So that's my first one too. I don't think North Carolina necessarily has any issues with the program. They're just bad. North Carolina is known to have issues with the program. And when I say issues, I mean cheating. Under Butch Davis, they cheat a lot. I mean, something we're very familiar with our favorite universities at the moment. North Carolina's just bad this year. Pittsburgh, they are 4-0. They are 3-point favorites. I think this is the value that we're looking for. A 3-point favorite, you can get some good money out of that. B, I will see you, and I am going to take that as well. In fact, DraftKings dropped it down to a 2.5 point fade. I like that. I think that's good money. I'm going to put that right on the slip.
All right. Well, where are you headed next?
All right. Next.
There's some Friday night lights I like too. If we want to keep that under wraps.
No. Let's not get too far. We got some good Friday games too. Let's see. We got Jacksonville State at Kennesaw State. Shout out to the Kennesaw State of Georgia. We You got Houston at TCU, the Horned Frogs, Michigan State at Oregon, another Big Ten slobber knocker.
Stop right there.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Michigan State was getting 23.5 points just 1 week ago. Actually, less than a week ago, 6 days ago. By the Ohio State University Buckeyes. That was an easy win for me. I think this is another easy win for me. I think Oregon's going to put the throttle down here, really try to show that they got a Heisman candidate playing quarterback. I think Michigan State, I mean, it's well documented the problems they've had in their athletic program and their football program. And I think they're a couple more years from bouncing back from that. I think Oregon wins this game by 30.
Ooh, 30. Yikes. I don't know about this one. I think I'm more inclined to hit the total on this one. That spread number, 23.5, is a little fuzzy for me. I kind of like this game because Michigan State, again, this is another year Michigan State is not that good of a team. Their defense is not that good. Oregon is this isn't the greatest Oregon squad. This isn't even an Oregon squad we used to seeing, but they're still decent. They're still good. As you said, they can still put up points. They still have somebody who is going to fight for Heisman recognition. So with that being said, I'm more secure in putting the over 52 on this game than I am betting the line straight up. What about you? What do you think?
I'm not opposed to doing both.
Hey, you only live once, right? And shout out to you, 48 times around the sun. Cheers.
Another Friday night light special here. Syracuse goes to Las Vegas to play UNLV.
Vegas. Lost wages.
Now,
let's talk about it.
Syracuse off to a quick start this year. Had a little setback. Did not look very good. But UNLV has lost their quarterback. It's been widely publicized. Was promised NIL money by some assistant coach. Didn't get it. He really can't promise those kind of things. So they switched quarterbacks. They have a running quarterback. It's kind of a ground and pound situation there. I think that Syracuse can spread the field out and throw the ball downfield. And I think because of that, I like Syracuse getting 6.5 here going to UNLV.
I like it for another reason. You have less to go off of with the backup quarterback. You see this time and time and again. There's a late week or a surprise starter situation, especially in the quarterback. The defense is caught off guard. They have nothing really to game plan for them. It's a situation where you can hit the defense by surprise. For that way alone, I kind of like UNLV to keep this game close.
UNLV's favored by 6.5.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm going with what you're saying. Syracuse.
Oh, we lost your sound, Pay.
I'm sorry. I fat fingered the thumb. I fat fingered the mic. My bad.
There we go.
What I'm saying is that even though UNLV is having all this issue with their NIL quarterback and all this other stuff, if they come in with this 1 week, come in with this new quarterback, they can catch this other team. They can catch Syracuse off guard and maybe surprise them and win. By Tutty. Now, would I put money on them winning by a Tutty? Because they have to. I will not do that. I'm more secure in saying they win straight up. Money line, I'm good with that.
All right. Well, let's keep that on the question page then.
All right, let's go ahead and add them both. Just we'll circle the wagons later. You know what I mean?
All right.
As we always do.
What else looks good to you in these college games?
All right, so I had this first game on Saturday. Missouri going to see Texas A&M. Missouri they shook the college world up with that first legislation about they can start paying players. I think the governor said that last year, right? They're getting a lot of good recruits, but I still don't think they're there yet. I still don't think they're ready for the big time yet. At least in their conference, the SEC. Texas A&M, they're a little bit further ahead. They're a 2.5-point favorite. You would think this is a coin flip. I feel really good about Texas A&M being ready, being able to win this game straight up. This is another one. I'm taking on the money line, minus 135. I like the Texas A&M.
And at Texas A&M, raucous environment, everybody well documented. I think Texas A&M's defense been playing better the past couple games. I could see that. I think they're starting to get the new coach, and it takes a couple of weeks to get some of the stuff ironed out. I actually like that play.
All right. It's always a good day when you like some of the ones that I got out there for.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else we got on Saturday? I know you talked about Alabama. Well, they were smoking Georgia. That was a good ending to that game.
It was a great ending.
Man, crazy. Do you think there's a coming back to earth moment for Alabama?
Nothing that I'm willing to put money on in that game.
Good shout.
I'm staying away from that game, the Alabama game, and their Vanderbilt, and then Georgia's Auburn, I believe. Mm-hmm. I'm sticking away from those two. I don't know if there's going to be any hangover from playing, getting up for a big game like that in the lights. But not something I'm willing to put money on.
Okay. All right. I
did get to see a team that's playing Saturday night close up last week.
Who's that?
I thought USC was going to beat Michigan. And I think physically, that was kind of a welcome to the Big Ten wake-up moment. I mean, USC has to start looking good as well as winning games to keep on pace with where they want to get. Tim also needs them to continue winning if Notre Dame is going to have any wins on their record book this year that look like they're worth anything. USC is at Minnesota, giving Minnesota 8.5 points. I think Michigan should have beat Minnesota by 2 touchdowns. I think USC will. I'm going to take USC minus 8.5 on Saturday night in Minnesota.
I also had this on my notes. I think USC is ready to bounce back. Minnesota they're not a bad team, at least by my eyes. But USC is not a bad team as well. In fact, I think USC is a very good team. Very good teams are not going to lose two in a row. They're going to bounce back against losing to a pretty respectable team in Michigan. 8.5. You usually see good teams when they follow a loss, they come back and blitz. I'm talking about 2-3 scores on their next opponent.
USC beat Wisconsin last week. Michigan was 2 weeks ago. They beat Wisconsin last week by 17. Mm-hmm. And I think that you hit the nail right on the head. And I think that this is a night game on TV. I think they'll try and make a statement here.
This is my third show of the afternoon. I've been, as you said, this is my fourth party favorite. So I'm recycling takes from last week because we missed our show.
That's fantastic.
Yes, USC should bounce back from losing to Michigan, which they did when they beat Wisconsin. And Minnesota is just more food on the table. I'm definitely with you there. USC taking Minnesota's lunch and eating it for themselves. I got USC covering that 8.5. I'm with you there.
Me as well.
All right. So, other things on Saturday. Obviously, there's the Fighting Deons. There's the ACC. We haven't touched on them yet. Miami of Florida. They had a crazy ending to their game too. Man. Oh, I wanted them to lose. I wanted them to lose that game to Virginia Tech so bad because that'd have been crazy. This week,
yeah, it was a wild ending.
They're only favored by 10.5 against California. They got to fly all the way across the country to see those Golden Bears.
Isn't that game day out there too?
I think so.
It's a long day for those Cal students that are going to be there early. Woo.
The students, they're teenagers. They can handle it. I'm more concerned with Corso and Saban and the rest of them. That is not only a long flight, it's an early wake up, and it's a long day of prep. Oh my God. Corso's like 138 years old. I don't know how you can.
They've only been having him in for one segment and out. He in and out.
That's good for him. Him and Jimmy Carter, they went to school together. Shout out to Jimmy Carter. Happy birthday. So yeah, Miami's a 10.5 point fave. I think that's fair. California, they're a decent squad. Miami's a decent squad. I kind of think 10.5 is a little bit playing to the name recognition of Miami, because I can see a scenario where this game is a lot closer. You know what I mean? But 10.5 is fair. There's some of that's juice. If you told me, like if you made the argument that this game would be a 6-point game, I can see it. If you told me this game would be a 12-point, 13-point game, like, you know what? I see an avenue where that goes. With this right here, I'm going to stay away from it because I can see it both ways. So I don't want to risk anything on this one. How are you thinking about this right so far?
Well, twofold, and I'm going to say I agree with you for two reasons. One, I'm still bitter because we should have had a winning record 2 weeks ago, and Cal couldn't muster up one more score against the vaunted Florida State Seminoles. So that's got me a little chapped. And then, listen, Miami's exciting. They got a lot of talent. They also don't value the football. And for that reason, that's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of situation for your football team. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from it.
Yeah, I agree.
One moment, the Heisman's going to Miami. The next moment, either the ball's going to the other team.
I agree. Cam Ward. Ward he had a Heisman moment.
He values the excitement. He does not value the football.
I'm a fan. I love excitement. But if I was an actual fan of the Hurricanes, I would value the football a little bit more. All right. So I don't think I have anything else on Saturday. I did circle this Clemson Florida State game just for talking purposes. Clemson is a 14.5 point fave going into Tallahassee. So I think that should be easy money for them. If not, Clemson is trash, and the ACC would get one squad in, and we all know who that one squad would be.
I mean, is that outside of the realm of possibilities, though? I don't think so. I mean, I could see Florida State keeping this fairly close. I think Clemson, they don't do anything for me.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I didn't have it on my big board. Is like, I'm liking this game. Clemson, ever since Trevor Lawrence left, I'm just like, they tell me they're good, but I don't really see it. This should be the game. This should be the week.
Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to have the next great quarterback with DJ. Every other team is like his name. That's who he's played for anyway. But yeah, I just haven't quite gotten that right. They haven't embraced the transfer portal, the NIL system correctly. Dabo Swinney, I don't trust him.
Who does DJ every other team play for now?
I think it's it's the Florida State Seminoles.
Oh, this is a bit of a what do you call it? Revenge game.
A little revenge game, yeah.
So to speak. Huh. There might be a little extra feelings, a little extra juice on this game. I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. Just in case. I'm gonna see how I wake up on Saturday morning, see how I feel about that one. All right.
See if you feel froggy.
Yeah. Feel froggy.
That's all I got for college though, man.
Me too. But before we get to Sunday, get to the main event, I did have some other stuff I wanted to talk about. Not college football.
All right.
I wanted to talk about the WNBA and Major League Baseball. They are both in their playoffs right now. So,
yeah.
Have you been? Congratulations!
What?
No.
What?
Congratulations, B. Not only is your birthday last week, but your Detroit Tigers, they advanced to the divisional series today. Congratulations. Clap it up.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. Way ahead of schedule.
Way ahead of schedule. Javi Magic, El Mago. I'm just saying. He's a World Series champ. He's got to be rubbing off, right? No Diddy.
Is it L or IL, Mago? How do you?
I guarantee you.
Hey, it's the best winning percentage in baseball since he went on the DL. Boom.
He will make an impact this postseason at some point. I guarantee it. If he doesn't,
checks. That's the impact.
If he doesn't, just go ahead and send him back to Chicago.
I've been trying 2 years. For 2 years.
To the Sox, not to the Cubs.
Oh, yeah, to the Sox. That makes sense. They got a lot of guys hitting $170.
It's my boy, but we can't harbor a 170 right now. Not right now. But in any case, today we have the Mets and the Brewers playing later. The first pitch is at 7:38. We have the Braves and the Padres. First pitch is at 8:38. And tomorrow, your Tigers play the Cleveland Guardians. Another, close to home squad. Any of these excites you?
Man, Braves, Padres.
Why is that?
The Braves have that pedigree, but the Padres have gotten, kind of hot down the road as well.
Yeah.
And I really think you could see some offense put up here.
So you like the run line, is what you're telling me?
I do.
All right, over 6.5. That's still good to you? Oh,
I think we're a 5-3 game, somewhere in that area.
Joe Musgrove, he's been fairly decent as of late. So I'm like, okay. We're gonna throw it in the slip. We can discuss it later if we like it so much. All right. So, like I said, other league that's in the playoffs right now, the WNBA. Tonight, the Liberty can go ahead and stamp their way into the finals. I'm sorry, that's not tonight. That's Friday. Friday, the Liberty can stamp their way into the finals. They sweep the defending champ Las Vegas Aces. B, are they going to do it?
So here's the thing. I was watching the game last night, and I'm thinking to myself, they're going to sweep this team. Then they got a little sloppy with the ball. Still pulled it off. Still pulled out the W. And I'm like, yep, they're going to go take care of business here. Like, this is the revenge. They're going to go take care of the Aces. And then I see him singing with Alicia Keys after the game, and I'm like, nah, too soon. You still got the MVP over there. I don't think they're gonna roll over for those belly pets. I think I'm gonna take the Aces to get one at home.
The Aces, they have a lot of champions on the squad.
A lot of pride.
Chelsea is a champion with the Aces last year. She won a title with the Chicago Sky in 2020. Obviously, Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum, they're two-time champs with the Aces. Mm-hmm. Asia is a two-time MVP. It's going to be hard to sweep them.
I think they get one.
I can see they get one. They're coming back home. They got to defend their home court. They got to defend their season. It's been a tough season for them so far. There's a lot of injuries. A three-peat in any sport, even as arduous as the WNBA, when you're playing damn near year-round for most of the players in that league, it is very hard to pull this off. So I've been fading them all year on their quest for 3 in a row. I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to win a championship, but I do think they can win this game to keep their season alone. They won't get swept. I am stamping that. I am putting the lock on the Aces to win that game.
All right. The lock. Right. Man, that word came back.
Yeah. I'm feeling from, again, 4-party favorites.
Listen, let's get into a real quick commercial break. Hear from our partnered sponsors before we get into this NFL games we got going on. We'll be right back after these messages while we're out. Hit that like, subscribe, share, tell a friend about us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Pay Dirt. We have just finished up some ancillary sports here, doing some WNBA basketball and Major League Baseball. We're not just a one-trick pony. We will not just be on football, although that is the majority of what you will see. You will see the occasional UFC drug in here from me. You'll see the occasional WNBA drug in from Pay. And baseball, it tickles our fancy. The one thing I will know. I hate to break bad news to everybody again, but I again won't be on the Homies podcast, which seems to be okay with my mom. She said it was her favorite show yet. It was just G and Pay got to talk a lot, so she was very excited about that. Shout out. But I won't be on there to weather the storm when we talk about baseball real quick, because I know now, after rooting for the Reds all season, the Guardians are going to be Tate's team. We all know it. I got family from there. I got, whatever. I digress. But he'll be talking a little bit of trash, and it's okay. It's okay. Talk a little trash, talk a little smack. The Guardians are the better team. They should be the better team. The Tigers, I don't want to say we're just happy to be there, but man, we're ahead of schedule and it feels real good. And this was a team that was talking about selling at the trade deadline. Were they going to get rid of Skubal? And man, am I happy they did not. Man, am I happy they did not, because he's the best pitcher in baseball right now. Forget about it. All right, Payne.
He had a season.
Didn't he?
Skubal had a season.
And he's tough.
But you are right. Before we keep going, you are right. My cousin Tate, he loves a good bandwagon. If the seat is comfortable, his tuchus will find a cushion.
So listen, is this Jerry Get That Bag Shaw? I think so. I think that's his new nickname here. Jerry, thank you for tuning in. Saying hi, all. Get that bag, Shaw. I like it. All right. Let's get into some NFL games. I got a couple things I like. But I'll let you start off, man. We got Thursday night football to talk about. And this is in your dirty South, my friend. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Yes. The Bucks are getting 1.5 in hot Atlanta.
Second straight week the Atlanta Falcons play a divisional opponent. Sorry. I got to give it up to Big G, one of our co-hosts on the Homie Show. Check it out. Fridays, live, 2 straight hours on FFSN, Steel Curtain Network, Running Through Jungle, Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel, Twitch, FFSN Homies. We're everywhere. He was telling us the Atlanta Falcons, he was mainly telling me, Atlanta Falcons going to be good. They ain't trash. As September, one of the things I took from September, Atlanta Falcons ain't trash. But Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they ain't trash either. In fact, they're not even treading water. They're a good team. Baker is a good quarterback. Can he go in Atlanta and continue to show that? I expect it. From this point on, I expect Baker to be a top 12-ish quarterback. He give me results that I expect from a top 12 quarterback. Atlanta, not a bad team. I don't want to say they're a good team just yet, but I expect the Buccaneers to go in there as the road dog and win that game outright. I am taking them plus 1.5 easily.
I am also all over that 1.5. Listen, the Falcons, I didn't even think deserved to win last week. They pulled it out. But I think Tampa Bay has a little more firepower on offense. I know they stubbed their toe against the Broncos. Everybody has one of those games, especially early in the season. But I expect the Broncos to come out here. Jerry, get that bag. Shaw also likes the Bucks and the under here. I listen. I really like the Bucks. I'm okay with the under. I'm not in love with the under because we've seen the Bucks already break out for 37 and 34. Like I think it's going to be under, but could I see the Bucks?
The under is an interesting play.
It is an interesting play because they're playing against 2 great safeties in Atlanta, but Mike Evans and Godwin are playing really well. They can run the ball. I don't know. I don't mind the under. I think it's a great addition. Let's put it this way: if I'm good on Saturday, I'm probably liking the under a little more, Jerry.
Here's what I'm thinking about this. Tampa Bay has a running back battle going on between Rashad Wright and Bucky Irving. Baker Mayfield is going to be seen, even though he has two good wide receivers in Godwin and Mike Evans. He still had to see a very good secondary for Atlanta. They have a decent pass rush from Atlanta, but Atlanta, their offense leaves a lot to be desired. Kyle Pitts had another bagel. So it really is not the quarterback. It's not the coach. It's just Kyle Pitts at this point. So there's a lot of reasons to think that 44 points, that might be a little bit.
I get it. Like I said, I like the under. Yeah, I really like the plus 1.5. So I'm good with playing either or both for sure.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on the slip. The under. Let's put that on there. We'll talk about it later. All right, let's move to Sunday. First game. What do you like from this slate? We got the Jets, the Vikings, Cleveland at DC, Baltimore playing your boys, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo going to Houston. Any ideas? What you got?
I don't have any of these on my playlist, to be honest with you.
Well, okay. These are all of boys. Let's.
Do you got anything on your playlist there?
I actually think so. From the first game in London, the Jets are going to play the Jets are going to London to play Minnesota, who's also going to London. Obviously, they're not playing PlayStation. So the Vikings, I gotta say it, they are a for real team now. I held out as long as I could. 4-0. Sam Darnold like an MVP. The Jets, they are who I thought they were. They're not a dominant good team. They're an average team at best. Shout out to their quarterback. Their offense, pew. Garrett Wilson is okay because of his quarterback. Breece Hall is okay, maybe even average, maybe even below average because of the offense.
Bad start right now.
Yes,
for sure.
And the Vikings are trending high. The Vikings are only a 2.5-point fave. I like the Vikings to win this. I like the Vikings to win this by more than a field goal. I think that 2.5 is safe money. That defense is primed. And if you saw anything from last week, a good defense gives the Jets all type of issues. I think this is easy. I think this is cake, to be honest. The Vikings has given me no reason to doubt them.
This seems to be one of those games. Like, I keep waiting for the carriage to turn into a pumpkin. Mm-hmm. The fighting Sam Darnold's to, when is he going to see ghosts again? I keep having that in the back of my head. I don't know. I'm avoiding this one. For the same different reason, but similarly, I'm avoiding this next game, Cleveland, Washington. Everybody's really hot on Washington. They're betting on them. There's a lot of problems in Cleveland. It's been well documented. Quarterback play, Deshaun Watson. The team's still not an easy out, and then you put that hook on there. You know how I feel about it. Cleveland getting plus 3.5. I got to stay away from it, just in case the Commanders start reading their own press clippings. Then you go into my beloved Cincinnati Bengals. Have the Ravens coming into town. Okay, you talk about finding value and avoiding Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Look at these teams. The Ravens go out and get beat by at home by the Raiders. Come on, man. The Bengals, they can't stop the rush. I don't know what the rushing numbers are looking like, but maybe I would look at something like that as a play. The Bills and the Texans, I could see that going either way. I really don't like any of the early stuff. I really don't.
I know one thing. If the Texans lose this game, a lot of questions right now. They say it every year. Some playoff team from the year previous falls back. It looks like the Texans are going to be that squad if they lose this game. I had them competing for the Super Bowl. That's crazy. You don't see that from a young team. You see it from a veteran team. A young team is supposed to still be on the rise. That's going to be hell to pay.
They're 3-1.
The Texans? Yeah, but it hasn't been the most convincing.
It hasn't looked great. It hasn't looked great, but they're 3-1.
It's going to be. It's one of those things like
there's a lot of new pieces. If you're 3-1, you're still ironing it out. Man, I'm all right. I'm all right with that. You don't have to get every game. You don't have to be about style points to me. I'm good.
Okay, all right.
If they go out and win this game against the Bills and they're 4-1, what's the narrative next week? You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So I'm gonna put the brakes on that.
You make a good point. I grew up in the BCS era. I'm about style points. It is what it is. It's the lifeblood of me. All right, let's get the next slate. We got the Panthers going to see the Bears, Colts at Jaguars, Dolphins at the Patriots. Ooh, stinky. And we got the Cardinals at the 49ers. One of these got to tickle you.
I will bet that Dolphins and Patriots game, I'll put 3 units on whatever you want me to, as long as you don't make me watch it. I don't care.
Listen. I had this one in my notes too. So for this one, it is 2 bad offenses. After I watched, so I had the 3 game situation going on last week. I had my team, the Bears versus the LA Rams, had the Steelers versus the Colts, and I had the Jets versus the Broncos. All right there at the same time. And let me tell you something. Whatever side of my pupil was watching the Broncos versus the Jets, I am blind in that side right now. That was a disgusting game. And this right here, Dolphins versus Patriots, that's going to take me to legally blind status. I cannot watch that. Two bad offenses. And the under is what's the total? 35 and a half? 36 and a half now. It is a good shout that they go under on that, right? But that is so low for a professional game. I
would watch the weather. If the weather is if there's any rain, if it's not pristine, I mean, I would take the under.
Yeah, I think the only thing you can bet on from this game is that under. Anything else, you are risky. You are risky business.
Listen, I think they did a great job setting this line on the Jags Colts.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jags have to right the ship. They played a little bit better last week. The last 8 games have not played well, but they always have some of those breakout games each year. The Cardinals and the 49ers. The 49ers look like they're back last week, and the Cardinals have really slowed down the past 2 weeks. I don't like that. I mean, the Bears game, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Look, you hit my run of pass. I don't like any of this stuff.
All right, so nothing in the first early slate of NFL games.
I got Thursday night games. Listen, I'm going to the Michigan-Washington game. Hopefully we're riding on cloud 9 after that game, and I'm out way too late, and I can sleep in on Sunday morning because I'll be West Coast time, so I won't have to get up for those 9 a.m. games out there, 10 a.m. games. So maybe I'll get some solace there because I don't like anything until 4:25.
I love 9 a.m. football. Oh my God. It is, you roll out of bed, you still got crust in your eye, you got bacon on the mind, like, oh, what's this? Football is on. Oh, that is Christmas to me, B. Come on, enjoy it. Yeah. All right. We're gonna go to the 4:00 slate. Vegas against the Denver Broncos, the Giants, the other shitty team from New York. Giants are at Seattle. They're gonna be right there in your backyard. Packers at Rams, and just those 3 games for the 3:00 slate, 4:00 slate. Anything? Which one of these games have you got, B?
So, did you watch that Lions game on Monday Night Football?
Oh, let me not lie and say I did. I watched. See, I have an NFL Plus subscription, so I watched the condensed version, but I didn't watch it. I had it on, but what's going on?
That's about as well as you can play on an offensive level. Detroit Lions were hitting on all cylinders. They ran the ball well. They threw the ball well. Play calling was great. Like, everything about what they did was great. And the Seahawks played well enough to still have an opportunity late in that game to possibly pull it off. I've seen good things out of the Seahawks team. I've had good luck reading when their matchup is good and betting them so far this year. I've also watched the Giants games. And then you saw Neighbors get concussion last week after being targeted like 15 times. I'll dig it. I think the Seahawks win this game by 10. Give me the Seahawks -6.5. It's the Giants.
Neighbors is going to have 2 seasons of NFL's work in by the end of this season, because he is getting targeted 2 games worth of work. Daniel Jones is looking no one else's way except him. He's going to be a veteran by the end of this season. The way I see these late afternoon games, my team just played the Rams. I know what they got. I know what they offer. The Packers, I expect them to bounce back and win that game. Jordan Love was a little rusty. If they're going to play him again, he can't be that rusty again, or they're really just dogging out their highly paid quarterback. So I expect that to flip. I expect the Packers to lose. The Rams to lose the second consecutive game. The Seahawks, yes, you are right. Seahawks played well, even though Jared Goff with 18 for 18 and the Lions as a team went 19 for 19 passing the ball. That is crazy. The Giants are terrible. The Giants are terrible. I'm gonna say it one more time. The Giants are terrible. I do expect the Seahawks to win that game by a tutty. I'm not too sure. If it's anything, I would take the Seahawks and Seahawks and Packers combined to win straight up. As it relates to the AFC West, the Raiders versus the Broncos, I don't know. Both teams have been Jekyll and Hyde. The Raiders lost to the Panthers, so you don't know what's going on there. But I also think the Raiders are possibly the second best team in that division. And maybe, when it's all said and done, when we get close to, around Christmas time, they might be within striking distance of this division, because I don't think the Chiefs are all that hot either. But the Broncos probably had the best defense in that division. But neither one of these teams are very sexy right now. Neither one of these teams give you much to bank on. I'm gonna stay away from that game. If there's anything from this slate, I'll take the Seahawks and I'll take the Rams to win straight up.
Grab that bag, Shaw says Devontae Adams out for the Raiders. Look at Brock Bowers to have a huge game. Interesting, especially if you're doing a single day fantasy. I don't dislike. Minshew's tough for me to trust, but I get it. I definitely like that. I like that Seahawks play.
Brock has been a favorite target for Minshew. Tight ends are always good favorite targets for quarterbacks who are not equipped per se to be as free with their arsenal as an elite quarterback would. You know what I'm saying? So I see that.
All right. Monday night football? Wait, Sunday night football.
Oh, yeah. The first time since what? 1996? These guys have seen each other in prime time. Pittsburgh, Dallas. There's going to be so many hot takes on Friday.
It'll be great. Going to be great.
Yes. Oh, you
know what? Since I'm out, you should have Mod come in.
Oh, that'll be great. I might not be there either. I don't know. It's gonna be a Hail Mary because I got to travel on Friday, so I might miss it. But it's gonna be so much hot air on those 2 hours. Oh, I can smell it. It's gonna be music to my ears. Shout out to Afton. Enjoy.
Listen, I think Tim's reading my mind over here in the comments. Mr. Tim Lyon says, I'm taking the Cowboys.
I actually believe the Cowboys are a better team. Top to bottom, all facets of the game. I think the Cowboys are a better team. Now, if you ask me who's the better defense, easily Pittsburgh. Who's the better offense? Not Pittsburgh. Not them. Pittsburgh has 6 touchdowns on the season. They scored 3 of them last week. And it's because they was fighting for their life. Justin Fields had a day. I take nothing away from him. He is a beast when he gets locked in. Can he do that every week? I haven't seen it. I've watched his whole career. I have not seen it yet that he can do it consistently, that he can hit that level. Consistency has been his issue. He can be consistent. He can be consistently blah, but he can hit that high level certain times, as you saw last week, and it can be really bad sometimes. Late game turnovers, especially. Dallas, you know what you're getting from Dak. Dak would show up during non-January football. You know Dak can do that. You know him and CD have a rapport. You know him and Ferguson have a rapport. You know that offense can do certain things. Can they do it against this defense? That's the question here. That TJ Watt is still there. TJ Watt had a bad game last week. Let me not say bad game, but he was he didn't make his presence felt last week. TJ Watt don't have 2 bad games in a row, right? And I don't want to use the word bad as a pejorative, but he makes his presence. It won't go 2 weeks like that, right?
Yeah. Here's my take on it, and I think they'll do enough, and Dak is good enough to get off of that spot and not let him wreck the entire game plan. I really think Najee Harris just hasn't been doing it for me. If he was, I would probably lean Pittsburgh here. But as you often say, water normally finds its level.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's much more likely for both of these teams to leave here 3-2 versus 2-3 and 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems like the way it should look on paper. So with it only being a 2.5 point game, I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
I think you said something there. I think the Cowboys have played underneath their expectations most of the beginning of the season. I think the Steelers have overachieved all of September. I don't think I'm, saying anything that's out of pocket. Maybe Steeler Nation, they don't agree, but that's fine. The Steelers being 3-0, they should beat those terrible teams that they played. Dallas is not a terrible team. No matter what you think about Dallas, you may hate their fans, you may hate the over coverage that they get, but they are not a bad team. If Steelers want to prove that they're a serious team to be reckoned with, they got to win this game. Will I bet on that? I will not. If it's anything from this game, I would take Dallas to win straight up. I'm not taking the points.
And just throw it in your parlay.
I'm not taking the points.
Parlay filler.
Yes, I'll take Dallas to win. They're the underdog, so I'll take them straight up, just to win.
Yeah, I got Dallas +2 now.
Okay. All right. Last game. You got anything on this? New Orleans Saints at Kansas City.
No, and I'll tell you, with Rashee Rice out, I don't know what I trust there. I would like to take the Saints in the points. The only reason why I'm not going to is because Monday night in Kansas City. I'm staying away from it.
Me too. I think Kansas City wins this game. They get another freebie. They get another free pass from the refs. Oh, I'm sorry. Get another free pass from the commissioner's office. Kansas City wins this game. Do they win it by a touchdown? Do they win it by more than a touchdown? I don't know. But I have no reason to believe that New Orleans was give them a difficult chance. I feel like that'll be the goal there. I'm gonna stay away from it though, because I don't really see the value in it. All right, we're getting close to that time. So, as of right now,
baby.
Yeah, we got 19 games here, man. So let's break it down. We got Oregon 23.5, UNLV -6.5, Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh -2.5, USC -8.5, Texas A&M on the money line, UNLV on the money line, Las Vegas Aces money line.
All right, let's stop at college.
All right. And the last college game, we got 2 more college games. Michigan at Washington over 41.5, and Michigan State at Oregon over 52.5. All right. So from this, what we like?
All right, so I would take that Oregon -23.5. I liked it a lot. You didn't like it a lot. Let's get off of that one.
All right.
UNLV we split sides of the fence. I would get off of the UNLV bet. We both like Pittsburgh. We both like USC. We both like Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are three that we keep for. I think we keep those three for college and move on. See if we want to keep any of these, either of these two ancillaries.
So we like UNLV, we like University of Pittsburgh, and we like USC. And you said we like Texas A&M too?
Yeah, Texas A&M was your pick, and I like them as well. Yeah, I like them better than I do UNLV or the UNLV over.
Okay, we'll leave them on there. So moving down, we still have the UNLV over.
Like you said, we have UNLV.
Oh, I'm sorry. The over and the money line?
Yep.
All right, let's take that out there. All right, so that leaves us with Pittsburgh 2.5, USC 2.5, Texas A&M on the money line, Michigan at Washington over 41.5, and over 52 Michigan State and Oregon.
Take that Michigan game out.
Are you certain?
Yep.
All right.
I'll probably still bet it, but we got to get down to 6.
Yeah.
And I like the Aces. I like that
play. Yeah. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. Ooh, we got to do some real chopping here. We got two games left. All right. Let's see. We have for the NFL.
Take that Major League Baseball over out.
All right, let's get that out of there. That's risky business anyway. All right. No baseball. But NFL, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 1.5, under 44 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons. Minnesota Vikings minus 2.5, under 36.5 Dolphins Patriots. Seahawks to win straight up. LA Rams to win straight up. Seahawks minus 6.5. Cowboys money line and the Cowboys plus 2.5. Hey, I know where's one I would cut right now.
What's that?
I'm getting rid of the Cowboys right here. I'm gonna push away.
I'm good with it. Both of those Cowboys bets getting
me too. I've got to whittle it down to 6. These are more riskier than the others. Let's get those out of there. All right. We have Seahawks 6.5, Rams money line, Seahawks money line.
I don't like the Seahawks money line. Does not have enough juice on there. I'd get rid of that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a good shout. It's not
a value.
Right?
Not a value.
Not a value. Same token goes for the Vikings 2.5. This is a lot more. This is very risky. I think,
especially
they would go 5-0, but it's risky, right?
Especially
you don't want to risk it, right? You don't want to risk your parlay on stuff like that. I do not like London games. I have a stat. I don't remember what it was, but I remember you said this last season on our Pay Dirt show. The road team usually wins the London games. Minnesota is the home team. If it's anything, I got to pull it out of the parlay. I'll bet it separately. Let me get them out of there. All right. So that gives us 1, 2, 3.
The Rams is probably the next one out.
Rams.
Yeah, we're still way over. Rams got to go.
I don't even know how the Rams got in there. Ew, that's terrible. All right. So we have the Seahawks minus 6.5, under 36.5 Miami and the Patriots. Under 44, Buccaneers, Falcons.
Get that under 44 out.
All right, yeah, I was looking at that too. Because we both like the Tampa Bay to win this game straight up.
Yeah,
so we want to keep that. All right. So from the NFL, we got 3 games from the NFL. Seahawks minus 6.5. Dolphins, Patriots under 36.5. Tampa Bay plus 1.5. All right, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. We got to get rid of 2, B. Tough decisions. All right.
Life's too short to bet the under.
Oh wow, that's cold, B. I was thinking the Seahawks game. I would think it's not that one. Oh right, all right. I get rid of the under. Your call. Ah, that hurt.
All right, let's go back up to college.
All right, back up to college. We have Pittsburgh -2.5, USC -8.5, Texas A&M money line, Michigan State at Oregon over 52.5. Ugh, I'm still hurt.
What do you think?
Out of those four I just said, I think it's got to be the total. Michigan State and Oregon. I think that's the riskier bet. As you see the odds is changing right in front of our eyes. Okay, all right. Final 6-game parlay.
1, 2, 3. I think we still have too many.
We have
6.
Yeah, that's 6. So our final 6-game parlay. University of Pittsburgh -2.5 at North Carolina. USC -8.5. Texas A&M money line. Vegas avoids the sweep on Friday. Got them winning outright. Tampa Bay Buccaneers +1.5. Seattle Seahawks -6.5. Ugh, that hurt. That hurt getting rid of that under.
What was the Aces bet?
The Aces is -142 to win outright.
All right.
So that gives us a plus 3,841 odds.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
I like it. Let's do it.
All right. So
we're due, baby.
Let's get. Yes, we are. All of us, all of our degenerate gamblers, we are due for some wins here, man. We have. It's been a tough year, dog. We are due for some good
and
news.
I just got an update that the Oregon spread is getting larger too. It went to -24. That's definitely a no fly zone there.
Yeah, I mean, people are seeing what we see, right? All right, so, all right, man. I like the 6-game parlay. Let's get some work done.
All right, I like it. That's our pick 6. We appreciate you guys as always rocking with us. You can check out Pay all over Fans First Sports Network. Also traveling, as you can see in his background. So we appreciate you getting on. I know those aren't easy to do as always, but a margarita, in Miami will make it a little bit better. But I digress. I will not be in, but I will be over on Pay Dirt, rocking it with my boys here in just a short bit at 8:05. So I got just in time to go let the dogs out and get back on here. Do it again.
AKA known as Running Through the Jungle.
Running Through the Jungle. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us as always. You can check us out next week, Wednesday, 6:35, as we hit Pay Dirt.